Hi there, I'm Mark Sebastian, the founder of Option Pit, and this is the Vol Report reminder. This is for educational purpose only, not investment advice. Options have risk. Consult your financial professional. There's all sorts of things that will explain the risk of options out there. Read them before you do anything. Well, I'm back from Jamaica, and I am kind of fascinated to see what's happened. When I left, the VIX was in the 9s. And now that I'm back, it's 12. Why? Government shutdown. So what's going on? Well, there's some strength in the VIX futures, notably some of these back month futures, where things continue to kind of fly around. There's been some softness in kind of this entire Feb complex. One of the points that I've been making is that Feb 21 still looks overpriced relative to March and February. That just seems off, that it would be 45 cents more than the contract in front of it and 10 cents less than the one that has a month to go. So there is a kink there. Things that we're seeing, Apple a little bit softer today after having a really nice run the last few days. It's been one of the few drivers. We've seen strength in Dollar General. We've seen strength in all sorts of the retailers. They've been reporting good stuff. Why? Well, the economy's doing good. Despite the government shutdown risk, the economy has been on a bit of a tear. So you've got Dollar General, Walmart looking really strong. Home Depot's above $200. This is one of the things we said. When it's above 190, it's going to 200. And guess what? It did. So Home Depot's been off to the races. All those names. The old saying in the business is, if it's going to 90, if it's trading 90, it's going to 100. And if it's grading 190, it's going to 200. And we've seen that repeatedly. And it tends to, believe it or not, it tends to work. There's strength in even like your Deeres, your industrials, all of the names that you would expect to be strong are strong. Amazon is now threatening 1,300. With Amazon, it might, but before all is said and done, it might be, well, it's trading 1,900, it's going to 2,000. This thing is unstoppable. Look for a reverse split in that sometime soon. Intel, despite kind of some of its problems of late, seems to have found its footing. They've got earnings coming up. There's a lot of earnings coming up. Netflix, like a lot of earnings. But kind of getting down to business, let's talk about what's really happening in the market. Well, this government shutdown is scaring people, but I want to point out that the RUD is the strongest index by far, and the SPX is the weakest. The VIX is down, the VIX futures are up. That tends to mean there's some sort of, what we're facing is amounts to a borderline binary event. We could see VIX go to 15, 16, 17 on a strong move in volatility. And with that, you would see the S&P drop probably 50 points if there is an actual government shutdown. On the flip side, the market is pricing itself like VIX could go right back to 10. And the Russell is trading that way, like it could go right back to 10. Interesting, VXST, the short-term VIX is still below VIX. There's a lot on our plate. The one thing that would probably be bad for VIX is if they get their quote-unquote 5-day shutdown, their 5-day reprieve that gets pushed through. My gut is that they'll end up doing the 30-day deal. Democrats don't want to shut down the government, neither do Republicans. They'd have to vote against this chip stuff, which I don't think they want to. So that could create some interesting stuff, and I think that's going to be kind of what determines our direction. Going into a Friday where we're going to hear some rumors leaking of good things is my guess. I think you could see the VIX drop precipitously, but the VIX futures hold up somewhat firmly through then. All right, folks. That's kind of the way everything's lining up. If you have, I think we'll end up being more green than we are right now, but don't expect a huge day. That being said, if the rut takes off, we could really rally.